Hi, everyone. I am Pete Codella. I'm the Managing Director of Business Services in the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. And I want to spend a few minutes with you to share ways that our office supports small business, and specifically how my team supports small businesses in all of Utah's communities. First of all, a little about us. We have about 20 programs and initiatives, over 100 state workers, many years of government and nonprofit and service industry experience, and we give about 140 million annually to Utah businesses. How can we help? I mentioned funding, access to grants and loans and tax incentives. We help provide networking. We convene groups and industries. We help with workforce development, and we provide international trade and partnership services. First, a story. When I was in my mid-20s, I moved to New York City, and one day my roommate convinced me to go with him rollerblading in Central Park. I thought it sounded like fun. I'd been on roller skates before. So we take the subway, we get off before the park, we rent rollerblades and helmets and pads and all those things, and we start skating towards Central Park. Well, I didn't realize that he was going to leave me in the dust, and we were about 6 or 7 blocks from New York City. Unfortunately, a light changed and cars were zooming through the intersection, and I did not know how to stop on my rollerblades. I figured out how to stop eventually, but at that intersection, I grabbed a light pole and swung around the pole and stopped myself from going into the street and getting hit by a car. It was a little scary, but I eventually figured it out, and it was a lot of fun. Why am I sharing this experience? I feel like owning and operating a business is a lot like my first experience rollerblading in New York City. It's usually your first time encountering the situation that you're in. Things are going fast, and your decisions could have life or death consequences for your business. It's high pressure, and you do your best, and you watch and observe others around you, and especially connecting with other entrepreneurs who've been there and done that. Here are some ways that our office helps. We have grants. There's a grants webpage, business.utah.gov/grants. It includes a guide on how to apply for our grants, and it lists upcoming and open opportunities for grants, as well as the previous grants that we've offered. These are grants that are set up and established by the legislature and administered by our office. Our Apex Accelerator team provides government contracting services. This is free consulting. They bring in about $1 billion in government contracting contracts to the state of Utah each year. They provide bid matching email notifications, and really they serve to connect the Utah business with a product or service to sell with the Department of Defense, other federal, state, local agencies. And they also have set aside opportunities for SETI businesses. Our Startup State initiative is relatively new. You can visit startup.utah.gov. This site is a one-stop shop resource for everything an entrepreneur, a Utah startup, a small business needs to operate, from ideas to start a business, to getting a business license, to growing and maintaining your business, to even closing and selling your business. There's a first of its kind business plan generator where you can answer a few questions and generate a business plan, which you can then take to an accountant or a banker and get a loan for your new business. It also features an entrepreneur community calendar of events and news. So the Startup State site is a great resource for you to check out. This is an example of what the website shows and looks like, and what some of the ads recently have shown about Startup State. Loans, our small business credit initiative, is intended to fill the gap from when you start a business to when you can qualify for traditional bank loan. Maybe you don't have the equity, maybe you don't have the credit score, you're just getting started. How do you get capital to run your business? Please visit our website, business.utah.gov/USBCI. You can see who our lending partners are. They've signed contracts with the state to provide these federal loan programs. We have a capital access program and a loan participation program. 2 different programs with a goal of providing almost 30% of loans throughout the state of Utah to SETI-owned businesses. Our jobs and incentives, probably the thing that we get the most media about is our economic development tax increment financing tax credit. It's post-performance. So a company who expands or starts operations in Utah can qualify for this if they're bringing a certain number of jobs or capital expenditure investment in Utah. But there's also a rural version of the EdTIF, which provides a larger tax credit if you are located outside of the Wasatch Front or Washington County. Some people don't realize that since this program was created by the legislature, over 2/3 of the companies who participate in the program are Utah-based companies. This is a program used to support homegrown Utah businesses. Yes, it can help companies that come from other states or countries, but primarily so far it has helped Utah companies grow and expand. And as an example, this is the outcome of the program for the next 20 years. You can see 3,600 jobs. You can see capital investment. You can see the wages that are coming with 16 companies that were incentivized just in one 12-month period. That was fiscal year 2023. The Utah Small Business Development Center, our office, and the Utah office for the SBA supports this group to provide one-on-one business consulting. You can schedule an appointment with them. You can see the website there. Also, they have the Entrepreneur Academy, where you can go get online training and resources. How do we support workforce? Our Center for Immigration and Integration helps employers connect with workers. As an example, a large employer in Price received assistance on an employment-based visa from Mexico to get their workforce needs met with authorized individuals in Utah. They can help provide letters of support for employers petitioning for visa sponsorship. They've done that for a company out of St. George. They also host networking events for internationally trained professionals. They work with UAMI right now to bring together engineers and manufacturing professionals with advanced manufacturing businesses. So they help connect that workforce that's very much needed with our low unemployment to the needs of Utah businesses. Talent Ready Utah is a Utah system of higher education program that provides training for high demand jobs. One of those training programs is the Custom Fit training program. If you're unfamiliar with Talent Ready Utah, you should Google it and check that out. Our Utah Innovation Center provides support for innovation, for research and development. This group provides free consulting, similar to Apex, that helps Utah companies involved in R&D to get non-dilutive federal grants for their innovation. They also provide free training, workshops, consultations, will review proposals, and help you submit for those grants. That's a free service. Our office has the Utah Broadband Center, which helps expand high-speed internet statewide. We all know to be effective in business today, you've got to have internet for your business and for your employees when they work remotely. There's also an affordable connectivity program that center manages. Our Center for Rural Development has a rural employment development incentive, which provides up to $6,000 per employee for jobs. There are also county grants available for rural counties, and all this information is available on our grants webpage, which I talked about earlier. Our office has organized into districts where we have outreach managers. So they work directly with you. They live and work in these Utah communities to support local businesses. So the Small Business Development Center is a local resource, as are the outreach managers for our office. Perhaps your business has a regulation that is slowing down your growth. You can apply to the Utah Office of Regulatory Relief. We have a sandbox where you can experiment with products and services and temporarily waive state law. It doesn't matter what industry you are in. We partner with World Trade Center Utah for global trade. Many Utah businesses go on trade missions or participate in events or webinars with our World Trade Center partner to expand their market into global locations. It's an awesome tool, and you can join World Trade Center to be part of these delegations, and you can learn more on their website. Our office has the Utah Office of Tourism. Certainly, the tourism marketing that our office does helps drive interest in and visitation to local communities, which generates revenue for local businesses. So we feel that tourism really impacts the quality and variety of recreation including helping with accessibility to local amenities for Utahns. Our film commission is similar in that it incentivizes film productions throughout Utah. Many film productions here occur in rural Utah, and those film productions hire local companies to support them. So a study showed that over $600 million per year in film-motivated tourist spending occurred in Utah in the last decade. You can learn more at business.utah.gov. The new site I shared is startup.utah.gov. We also host inutah.org, which started in 2020 as Utah's response to the COVID pandemic and how do we encourage people to shop and stay and buy and play in Utah. So there's still stories and information on inutah.org as well. You can follow us at Business Utah on social media. If there's one takeaway, please go to our website, business.utah.gov. In the footer, there is a link to sign up for our newsletters. Be sure you get our Office Business Elevated newsletter, and any of the centers that I've just mentioned can be selected for an email subscription. You may also want to check out our YouTube channel or listen to our Business Elevated podcast, which I host. And every spring, our office does the One Utah Summit here in Northern Utah. We held that event in April 2024 at the Grand America. We'll be back in 2025. That is a great event where you can learn more. This is what the podcast looks like. On inutah.org, we talk about 100 companies championing women. It's an initiative of our office in partnership with the Utah Women in Leadership Project to help tell the stories and promote how businesses in Utah are supporting women in business. Thank you for watching. My team, the Business Services team, and the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity are working their way through the state to help meet with communities and answer questions about how our office can support local Utah businesses. We would love to hear from you. Please check out our website, and I hope to see you soon.